language.
Den är där.
There's a question that arises next of how to set up the scale so that you don't have to spend a lot of time fiddling around. So I'm going to show you my notes here that I've quickly made. You notice on here I have some marks on what my reference measurements are to, and I'm going to show you quickly how I calibrate the scale. If I want to, I'm going to reload some 243 ammunition, and I'm going to use 40 grains of H4350. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an X1 measurement, that's this measurement here, of 0.632. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm just going to make sure these slides are closed all the way up first, because that one, according to my notes, that one is just using this large tumbler here, right? So all I have to do is take my 0.632, and you can see, well, here I am, old school again. I've got this old vernier caliper, but it still works. I just don't replace things if they're still working. So, but I have 0.632 measured on this, and it's not all that hard to do, to just take that tip and I just slide it towards there. Once I've got it there, then I tighten down this screw here, and I'll tighten down this one too, just make sure it doesn't move around. Now I have in here, I have a gap like that, right? So it's a nice deep cavity, but if I need to adjust it a little bit, I'll loosen these little guys here and I'll get it right bang on. But by having done it this way, I've got my powder measure worked out pretty good for just taking it straight to the press reloading table now, putting in the powder and just knock out my first charge and see how it checks against the scale. Now, one thing I'm going to mention that's overlooked in this, one of the reasons I really prefer this method, is because I have set my scale now using my notes and the measurements so that it's going to get me very close to the charge that I want. Now I'm going to go back to the reloading table and I'm going to throw a few charges through this measure, and I'm going to measure them on my weigh scale, right? So I have sort of a double check system going on here, because it is possible maybe I read the wrong line out of this book, right? And I set this to the wrong measurement, or I measured wrong on my vernier caliper and I got the wrong measurement on it and then set this wrong. When I go to the weigh scale, I'm going to check this against the weigh scale, and if they don't agree, that's going to be a heads up right there that I've done something wrong. Conversely, let's say I didn't do this at all and I just went straight to the weigh scale and set it to 40.0 grains. You know, these weigh scales, there's always a chance of human error, so I could have maybe set it to 50 grains by accident or 30 grains by accident, just by, you know, well, we're all human, right? So if I had done that in the case now, because I have my scale set up, when I go and set this powder charge according to my notes and I go to the weigh scale, it's not going to agree, and so I'm going to right away find out that something went wrong here. I got the wrong charge somehow. Either I set it wrong on the weigh scale or I set my powder measure off. So I have a double check method, something to make sure that it's almost impossible to go wrong. In other words, it's almost impossible to make two mistakes back to back, right? So just keep that in mind. That's one of the reasons for doing it this way, in addition to very quickly setting up your powder scale.